Hello, welcome to Talk a Game. It's just finished. Liverpool 2, West Ham United 1. Right, let's talk about the game on my own. No Gonzo tonight. He's away. He's having the weekend off. So did Sebastian earlier. I'm joking. We'll get on to that in a little second. We didn't have to wait long, did we, for the opening goal? 10 minutes in, Pablo Fornals made it 1-0. A funny goal, really. I mean, a goal we can salvage, West Ham fans, certainly. But in watching the replay, it was just a few errors led to us being 1-0 up. I thought... in the build-up, I thought Fornals missed a good opportunity to try and put Allier in, and we sort of picked the wrong option, which was going to be a theme continuing throughout the 90 minutes from Pablo. Ball eventually got played to Masuaku. The cross was pretty poor, to be honest with you, but Gomez's header is just awful, isn't it? He headed it straight to Pablo Fornals on the edge of the box, sort of scuffs it a bit into the bottom corner. Allison, on playback, he looks like he dives too slow or something, the keeper. But it goes in the bottom corner. It's 1-0 West Ham. We don't really care how it goes in, do we? But I thought we were playing well at this point. It was only 10 minutes in, but I thought we were doing well. I thought we were defending well. That we were getting forward as fast as we could. Not as fast as possible with the squad, but with the players on the pitch, I thought we were getting... And they were committing. We were getting forward in numbers, if you like. From then on, it was always going to be quite... Well, we knew what was going to come. We were going to sit back and try and still cut the pressure and get a few counter-attacks. And we got them. But Fornals is just... His final pass sometimes is still infuriating. At one point, he gave it to Jared Bowen, but he put it too hard. He just gave it to Jared Bowen quite pacey, whereas Bowen's left-footed. A slightly lighter pass would have allowed Bowen to cut in on his left foot. Then again, he's breaking in the second. He breaks again. Masuaku's only one up, in fairness to him. But really, he should be turning around and just keeping possession. But he tries the most ridiculous cross in the world. You just concede the possession. And then Liverpool start coming at you a little bit. And he's almost sort of lucky he got the goal, Pablo, because it sort of takes the, I wouldn't say the bad game aspect away from him, because I think overall he's not had the greatest game. He works hard, puts a shift in. He does the nitty gritty. Defensively, he's really good. But going forward, when you're going to be playing a counter-attacking game and you only get 2 or 3 counter-attacks per half, you've got to make them count. And I felt like they all kept falling to him, and he kept wasting them a little bit, to be honest with you. Liverpool obviously got the goal just before half-time penalty, around about the 40th minute. Masuaku brings down, I'm not even sure that's the correct way to say it. He breathes on Salah, maybe. Salah goes down. I think it's a funny one. Is it a pen? I don't know. I thought Salah went down a little bit too easy. When you watch the replay, is there contact? Yes. Is there enough contact to bring a fully grown 28-year-old man down? No, there's not. It's the tiniest of touches in the world. By the letter of the law, it's probably a penalty. I can see why VAR didn't overrule it. Just like if I think Pawson or whoever the referee was, doesn't give that pen and VAR watched it, I don't think the overruling make it a penalty. I think it just stays to what the referee's decided. But Masuaku shouldn't be swinging his foot out. I say swinging his foot. He doesn't belt him, does he? But he moves. Masuaku lifts his foot to give Salah the opportunity to go down. It's just frustrating because for 40 minutes, I thought defensively, we were fantastic. Every player was working hard. I thought we held our shape. Liverpool were struggling. They'd had one shot, which was Henderson's 20-yard effort, which was close. But if you're going to restrict them to shooting from outside the box, it means you're doing your job. The defence is doing the job. So to do all that, and then our one player just sort of, I keep wanting to say kicks, because I guess he makes a kicking motion, but he doesn't really kick him, does he? He just touches the bottom of his foot. Such a soft penalty, and it's just so frustrating to watch that you've worked so hard to just give Liverpool opportunity to score from the spot, and he just belts it down the middle, doesn't he? 1-1. I thought the first half, we'd done really well. I thought we played really good football at times. I thought we were taking no chances defensively going forward. Like I said, unfortunately, the ball kept falling to Pablo Fornals, and you just wish maybe it was going to Bowen to do the passing or something, and we might have had some different outcomes going forward. But it's a dodgy penalty decision. Is it a penalty? I think so. I can't be too angry, because I'm more angry that we gave Salah the opportunity to win the penalty, if you like. Anyway, second half starts, and it's as you were from both teams, really. I thought we held our own for quite a while, really. Again, though, whenever West Ham went forward, it just seemed to fall to Pablo Fornals, and his decision-making just wasn't good enough. The first one, Masuaku puts in I think Masuaku puts in a nice low cross, and it's going to Bowen. And Fornals gets in there. He's on the stretch. Now, if it goes in, right, we're all fickle. If it goes in, we're going to be praising Pablo Fornals. Instinct, whatever you want to call it, good finishing, but it doesn't. It rolls its way to the goalkeeper, and he's basically taken off Jared Bowen's foot. And you can see how frustrated Bowen is at this point. Then later on, Alier flicks it on Bowen and Fornals to get a slice of luck, okay? Because neither of them get under control of that. It bobbles around with them in the Liverpool defence, but gets to then. Fornals is then there. Bowen's 3 yards to his left in front of the goal with no one in front of him. Fornals takes a shot on. It's the complete wrong decision. You can see how angry Bowen is at this point. He's waving his arms around at him and stuff, visibly annoyed that he's not getting played in. If we play him in, I think it's a different game. I think you'd back Jared Bowen to score that at any point. And this is, I suppose, the slight difference between us and Liverpool sometimes. Liverpool have the greedier players. Salah in particular is a greedy what's it. But down the other end of the pitch, we saw Liverpool doing the tippy-tappy stuff in and around the box, trying to get players played in. They probably overplayed it sometimes, but they sort of had to, because they kept, now and again they tried to cross it against us, but we were dealing with it in the air. We were always going to deal with crosses that were contested for headers in our own 18-yarder. We were mopping them all up. I thought Balbuena and Obona were winning absolutely everything in our 18-yarder. But when we went forward, we needed a bit more of that tippy-tappy. Comes to Fornals, complete wrong decision. Easy enough for the keeper in the end, but I'm really frustrated by Pablo tonight, because I just think if it's not just one opportunity here. This is four chances he had to just a better pass, and he's creating a goal-scoring opportunity for someone, and all 4 times, 3-4 times, either the pass wasn't good enough or he's made the wrong call, and it's just annoying. That's all it is, because Jared Bowen he's a finisher. Jared Bowen scores goals if he gets chances, and he's not getting them. I think all of Bowen's, I could be wrong, but I think all of Bowen's goals this season for West Ham have been set up by Fornals as well. So at times Fornals does provide him with the stuff, but you'd assume today that Fornals could just give him better passes. We might have seen a different result. We might have seen Jared Bowen getting on the goal scoring sheet. Anyway, substitutions by both managers. Yarmolenko comes on for Sebastian Haller. Klopp brings on Shaqiri and Jota. And he's not on the pitch long, Jota. He's buzzing around. Straight away, he's changed that. The momentum shifts. As soon as those subs are made, I think the momentum goes for Liverpool. And it's not because of David Moyes' substitution. I think it's because of what Jurgen Klopp went and did by bringing Jota on, going a bit more attacking. And the VAR was on our side for once, for a change. It was on our side. I have to say, though, well, I'll get onto that. Liverpool broke from our attack. We had an attack just outside the box. They picked it up and whoosh, off they went, running down the middle of the park. I think it's Jota has a shot, then Mane goes in, and it falls to Jota, bang, in the goal, 2-1. And then obviously VAR comes into play because of Mane's tackle or sliding in on Fabianski. But prior to this, tell you what really infuriated me is the fact that we didn't bring anyone down. When that when Jota went running down the middle of the park, it was Bowen in particular was right beside him. Rice at one point is up against him, but Rice has to get out of the way. Rice is on a booking, he cannot touch him, so Rice is out of the way, gone. Soufal, at the start of the move, Soufal does try and bring someone down, but the referee plays advantage. But Jared Bowen runs alongside Jota, and he sort of grapples with him a little bit, but you've got to bring him down, you've got to take him out. He doesn't, he leaves him to go, and he goes 2-1. I'm not going to lie, I thought they were going to give that goal. I watched it and I thought, no, if Mane's going in on Fabianski, that's in the middle of the pitch. It's a free kick, 100%. But does Mane stop Fabianski getting the ball? I'm not sure he does, to be honest with you. But I do think it's a foul. I think you cannot slide in on the goalkeeper like that. So VAR ruled out. It's 1-1, game on again. We got off with it. Because I felt the Liverpool winner was coming, to be honest with you. I felt they were cranking up the pressure a little bit. Robertson got in behind. At one point, there was a good save from Fabianski. They were trying a couple of neat passes into the box. Salah at one point was almost in. But you could feel the pressure building. I thought our counter-attacks were getting less and less. We were struggling to get the ball forward. I think Alier was on. I thought he was ineffective. We'll get on to individual performances in a second. Then Yarmolenko come on. He was getting the ball a bit more, but far deeper, too deep. A few points we were getting forward, trying to cross it. Yarmolenko just wasn't in the box. He was like playing in an attacking midfielder position. We just lost all presence up there. And then Liverpool did get their winner. But I have to say, you can. I always say, I've got to say, show me a goal, I'll show you a mistake. Now we can go back at this and we can look at mistakes. Yarmolenko loses the ball, Balbuena comes out with the defence and stuff. Should they do that? I don't know. But I just think it's a fantastic goal by Liverpool. And I have to say, I think it's a world-class pass by Shaqiri, to be honest with you. That pass from Shaqiri was unbelievable. Started on the right for Liverpool. Pass. They're just moving it, trying to drag players out of position a little bit. And I think they've finally done it, because until then, we'd stood our ground, very well organised. They were struggling to get into our box. At this point, they just had one or two players extra. They overweighted the right-hand side. Nice little passing. Got to Shaqiri. Fantastic run by Jota. But the pass from Shaqiri is just absolutely ridiculous. Jota's one-on-one with all the time in the world and finishes at 2-1 Liverpool. We didn't really have much opportunity after that. The substitutions came on 87th minute or whatever. Lanzini and Benrahma come onto the park, but there was never going to be enough time to do anything. So 2-1 defeat for West Ham. I thought we played well, though. I thought we did all right. I think we can be a bit disappointed to lose, not because we have any right to go to Anfield and get something, but because we put the shift in. I thought we made Liverpool work for the win. Klopp will come away thinking there'll be a lot harder games than that. A lot easier games than that in the Premier League for them this season. But I don't know, it was just a bit disappointing, because I felt that with a little bit better decision making in the final third, I thought we could have gotten at least one extra goal, if you like. We could have tried something. But individual performers, Fabianski was a bit scary in the first half, weren't he? Spilled a couple of crosses, but apart from then on, I thought he was okay. I thought the back three were really good, all three of them. I thought we were really, really good today. I thought they kept Salah, Mane and Firmino quiet. I've barely seen Firmino the whole game. But when he got taken off, when Jota come on, I think that sub changed the game. I think that substitution from Klopp was fantastic. Had that extra offensive player, and we didn't really know what to do with them. Rice was on a booking, which means that the middle of the park for us is weak, because we've only got one player that can actually put a tackle in. I thought the wing backs were really good. Sofal and Masuaku defensively good, going forward really good. Up against Alexander-Arnold and Robertson directly then too, and I thought they did okay. I thought they held their own, got plenty of crosses in. I thought we increased the amount of crosses today with Sebastian Haller in the team. They weren't necessarily good. Some of them were quite poor, but a poor one led to a goal. You've got to be in it to win it, haven't you? And that's what you get. You get the luck of the draw sometimes. I thought we got that for our goal, but we got the crosses in. Souček and Rice were busy. At times they were outnumbered, but you didn't always feel like that. I thought they got about well. I thought they defended well. Didn't get forward as much as you would have liked, but you've got to accept that. When you're playing away to Liverpool, you can't just throw bodies forward willy-nilly, because they will punish you. And I felt like they were a bit restrained, actually, which allowed the wing-backs to get up the pitch and try and support the front three. I thought Fornals, I've spoken about Fornals quite a lot, and I've been quite critical of him, but I think he worked hard. Defensively, fantastic. He had a hard job to do, because when we are sort of out of possession, he's got to try and tuck in a little bit and help Rice and Souček, but also keep an eye on Alexander-Arnold. It's a very difficult job to do. Offensively, he's in the right positions. I always say that one of the hardest things to do is get into the right area to score goals. Is the hardest. If you can do that all the time, eventually you will score. So he's getting big chances every single game. So he's doing something right. It's just his finishing just isn't quite there. It's thoroughly frustrating, because I think he's a fantastic footballer. I really like Fornals. I'm a big fan of him. But it's getting to the point now where every game we're looking back and he's missed a big opportunity. Where the games that we're winning, you just miss it. You can let him off with it. But when you're not losing games or you're drawing games that you could have won, it's big opportunities we're missing through Papa Fornals. And Jared Bowen, I thought he worked hard. I don't know what else to say apart from that. He didn't really have much chances, but can he do more to get more chances? Possibly sometimes. But when you're chasing Andy Robertson defensively, then you've got to get forward and try and get to Sebastian Haller, who's 50 yards away when the ball's in your possession. It's It's a difficult job. He's got a hard job to do, Jared, but I don't know what else to say about him, really, except he worked hard. Now, Sebastian Haller, this is a big talking point, isn't it? He started, Moyes gave him his opportunity, which a lot of people, including myself, feel he's not had a great chance under David Moyes thus far because of his injury and then the form of Mikel Antonio. So I was interested to see him come in. Pleased to see him come in. I guess the question was going to be, are we going to adapt? Are we going to provide him with the service he needs? And if so, what's he going to do? It's a difficult one. I thought at times he looked all right. I thought he won a few headers in the air. You know, that chance I was speaking about with Finals, we should have passed the ball, and we all know what the chance to talk about is massive. Haller wins that. He starts that move off on a long ball. And in the first half, I thought he was trying. In the first half, if you go back and watch our goal, Haller makes a run, which Fornals doesn't give him it. He gives out to Masuaku instead. And you can see Fornals get a bit annoyed. But anyway, if we continue, Masuaku gets the ball, and he's got a crossing opportunity. He doesn't take the first crossing opportunity. He gives it back to Fornals. But anyway, he goes to shape to cross it. Haller makes a run. The ball doesn't come in. You can see Haller retreats again. That's his second run he's just made in a matter of a minute, and neither time has he got the ball. So the ball does come in, it's crap, and ends in the back net. Happy days. But he just didn't do enough today for me, Haller. Did we set up 100% for Sebastian Haller? No, but I do think we altered it. I think we altered our play a little bit. I thought we got the ball in more to try and suit him. I don't think the crosses were great though. At times he was far too isolated up front. Goal kicks and stuff were going up to him. He won a fair share. I don't know what the stats are. I wouldn't be surprised if he won 50% of his headers today. But the problem is there's no one to head it to. He's flicking it on. He's sort of flicking it up in the air to try and then flick it back up in the air. And he's almost doing head tennis with himself to try and wait for people to come up. But other times, especially in the second half, I thought he was out of the game. I don't know what happened. Sebastian Haller came out in the second half, and I felt like he couldn't be arsed. I mean, I was watching him. It didn't look like he was bothered. It didn't look like he wanted to be there. Whenever we did get the ball in the wide position, he would stand in the middle of the pitch, and that was all he was doing. He was standing. There was no more runs anymore. And I felt like he gave up. Now, you could say, well, he's tried 3, 4, 5 runs, and we've not given him it, so why would he keep going? But you've got to keep going. And I don't think he did. I thought he gave up far too easily. I don't think it was a great performance from him. Overall, he got hooked. I'm not surprised to see him substituted. But it's a difficult one to gauge because I don't think the team is set up perfectly for him. But, you know, I've seen us play with the team not set up perfectly for Mikel Antonio. However, Mikel Antonio makes it work for him. He gives a little bit different. Sebastian didn't really do that today. He was up against an inexperienced defender in Nat Phillips. Nat Phillips got man of the match. And if that doesn't tell you the story of Sebastian Haller's performance, I don't know what else could. I'm not writing Sebastian off. I think, like I said, I think he's a terrific player. Next week we play Fulham. I want to see him start again. And hopefully we see a better Sebastian. But I thought second half today, I just felt like he didn't want to play for us. Maybe I'm overreacting, but I saw nothing. There was no enthusiasm. Bar that header he won, he just didn't seem that bothered. It felt like he gave up a little bit. However, Fulham's a completely different kettle of fish. We're going to see more of a possession. We're going to have more players in the attacking area of the pitch. I'd expect to see Bowen and Fornals closer to Sebastian Haller for attacks. I'd imagine we'll play out in the back a bit more. That game might suit him more. Today it didn't really suit him. It was a tough gig for him, but I don't think he justified him starting today, if that makes sense. So it's a 50-50 for me. Not a great performance for him, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I still want to see him against Fulham, but he's got to do a lot better. It wasn't good enough from Sebastian today. Yarmolenko, come on. He's not such centre forward, is he? You could tell. I thought he was bringing the ball down better than Sebastian and trying to do some link-ups and stuff, but at times he causes you trouble, Yarmolenko. He got caught out a few times in our own half with the ball when clearing it might have been the better option, but that's maybe a credit to the type of footballer he is. He doesn't like hoofball, he likes to play proper football. But there's a time and a place for it. Now, I don't think Anfield 1-1 with 10 minutes to go is a time or the place, to be honest. And And that's when we did go forward, I felt like he was out of position a lot. We were getting the ball wide. He wasn't in the box. I was, where is Yarmolenko? At one point, he was the guy on the side of the pitch with the ball. I thought, well, what are we doing here? Who are we aiming for? Pablo Fernandes? I mean, the only criticism today is I felt I would have liked to have seen the substitutions earlier. The Benrahma and Lanzini's double substitution. Could have done that earlier. But I'm not going to, believe it or not, I'm not going to criticise Moyes for not doing them, because it was 1-1 away to Liverpool. If he'd done them and we'd lost the game, we'd say, well, you got that wrong, didn't you, Dave? You messed it up. We've lost the game now. So I can see why he remained cautious, if you like. It would have been nice to see them, but it's not the end of the world. There was an opportunity there, I felt, because when Jota come on, I felt, well, here we go. Klopp's now committing an extra player, which means when you counter-attack, there's more room. There's a less Liverpool defensive player on the park. And we didn't really test it. When we did, it was the same players that weren't quite making the most of the counter-attacks earlier on in the game. So it's disappointing. I thought West Ham played well today, worked hard. Unlucky not to come away with a draw. I think Liverpool deserved the win, though, in the end, mainly for when they come on. I felt like cramped the pressure up a little bit, and we were struggling just to get the ball. We didn't really have a breather. Every time we got rid of it, it come straight back at us. I thought the defence was really good, although we conceded 2. Doesn't feel like it, though they were brilliant today. So all in all, a decent performance, some good performers, and individually, and one or two tweaks needed, if you like. I think one or two of the players didn't do themselves any favours for the team selection next weekend, as mentioned. But anyway, I'm going to disappear. That's it for me. We missed Antonio today, that's for sure. We're going to have to do it without him against Fulham as well. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I shall catch you in a couple of days with another video. Don't know what yet. I'll see you soon.